evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Ryan Baitshu.
I am Jassy Marik with sport.
And I'm Kay Marie Fletcher with your weather.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. Weeks after he survived a shooting, gunmen returned to finish off Joseph Sutton, opening fire as he cradled his baby, killing both.
With nurses' protests going into day 4, CPO clarifies that nurses' $75 overtime rate was never ratified.
Another union settles for 10%, 20,000 government workers to benefit.
Coming up in sport,
I am seeing a team here that could bring more medals than last year.
TNT's athletics boss touts the class of Carifa 2026 to outdo last year's bunch.
Today may have been overcast, but don't let the grey skies fool you. The sun will be out again. I'll give you all the details in tonight's weather forecast.
An early morning attack in Dondal Hill, St. James, ended with the death of a 25-year-old man and his infant son. Joseph Sutton and his 11-month-old child, Jaden, were asleep at home when a gunman opened fire through a bedroom window.
It was not the first attempt on his father's life, having survived a shooting just 2 weeks ago. We understand that because of that attack, the Sutton family was contemplating fleeing the area.
But as the family and wider community grieve their murders, residents are now questioning the effectiveness of the ongoing state of emergency. Shane Superville has more.
Instead of planning his first birthday, a Dondal Hill family is now making funeral arrangements for 11-month-old Jaden Sutton and his father Joseph, who were fatally shot while at their home early on Tuesday morning. Jaden was asleep in the arms of his father when the attack took place just before 1 a.m. Speaking with CNC3 News at the Forensic Science Center, Sutton's common-law wife and Jaden's mother, Leona Allen, recalled the incident when she heard barking from the family's pet dog.
We heard the dogs barking. I was about at 1 so, and I got up to see what it was.
Allen said Sutton survived a shooting on March 16th that left him hospitalized for a week. She said the attack was likely caused by jealousy in the neighborhood towards him and even spoke with him about plans of leaving the community once he was discharged from hospital. She laments that these plans never became a reality.
So we wasn't expecting anybody to swing back to do anything.
I know why
especially take my child also.
Sutton's father, Magnus, said despite appeals for help to the police after his son's last shooting, the family continued to live in fear.
Since all these things going on, we complaining to the police, and the police ain't doing nothing. They do nothing at all. They just come and take the thing and they're gone.
The elder Sutton also said he was deeply hurt by the loss of his grandson, noting that he looked forward to celebrating his first birthday with little Jaden, who he said shared a close bond with everyone in the family.
I really like he knows how to walk and thing, now get 40 in him out. So he knows how to eat plenty and thing and move active and thing.
CNC3 News tried to contact Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander and Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara, but received no response up to news time. As of Tuesday afternoon, investigators were still trying to confirm a motive for the murders. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
A prison officer and a police officer are among 24 people served with preventative detention orders.
Karen Lewis, a prison officer, also known as Diesel, and police officer Stefan Khan were detained under the orders signed by Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander.
Lewis has been identified as a key facilitator, allegedly coordinating criminal activity between inmates and persons outside of prison. He is the first prisons officer to be served a PDO in this SOE.
Meanwhile, Khan, a serving member of the police service, is accused of using his position to assist a member of an organized criminal gang. He is the third police officer to be served a PDO.
Other detainees include individuals linked to several criminal gangs. 2 police constables are now facing serious charges after a Professional Standards Bureau investigation into misconduct. Officers Stefano Heban and Jelani Primer were charged on March 30th with misbehavior in public office, including kidnapping kidnapping and corruptly obtaining money.
The case stems from a March 14th incident along the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway, where a motorist was stopped, accused of driving a stolen car, and then allegedly detained. Reports say the officers demanded $20,000, forcing the victim to withdraw $10,000 at an ATM in Arima, while also taking cash from his wallet.
PC Haben faces additional charges of larceny and attempts to obtain more money. Both men were arrested during a controlled operation, detained under preventive detention orders, and appeared before the Arima Magistrates Court on March 31st. The matter was adjourned to April 14th. The Chief Personnel Officer is tonight making it clear that raising nurses' overtime rate to $75 per hour was never ratified. CPO Commander Dr. Daryl Dindial made the comment hours after hundreds of nurses at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex staged a silent demonstration outside the hospital's administrative building today. Staff took to the entrance during a brief march in a show of solidarity as they sought the immediate intervention of authorities to address their concerns. Dr. Dindial noted that the management of RHAs is outside his office's purview.
What was asked of us was to extend all the rates to $75 and to extend to other categories. That was not agreed upon because there's a reason why there's a difference in rates. Those that receive the higher rate do more complex work as opposed to the other areas.
During this morning's demonstration, registered nurse Rhea St. John Acosta told CNC3 News that such figures were justified given issues of short staffing in various departments, which required nurses to perform more than one task and at times even report for duties on their scheduled off days.
We don't have enough staff. Sometimes you're forced to work overtime because who is relieving you? You have nobody to relieve you. So you are saying that we should work for free.
Efforts to contact Minister of Health Dr. Lakram Bodo were unsuccessful up to news time. Well, in light of that story, we asked if you think the government should give in to the nurses' pay demands.
Here's what some of you had to say.
Yes, because there are some nurses that pour their life out and go the extra mile to take care of the citizens in the hospital, and I think people don't really see this.
I am two ways about it. Reason being, one, I think yes, because the nurses, and they do work very hard, and it's a demanding job. And also, I think there's some of the nurses who they don't really come out to work, and it's not a consistency with them as well too. So I am two ways about it.
Definitely. The nurses are very compulsory, and the healthcare workers do a lot for the country, so why not?
I think it's an essential service to the country. Pay is already low for nurses. I think it's a fair ask.
Personally, I was in the hospital a few months ago and I experienced how much they work, and they do a lot, and I really appreciate them. And it's a hard job too. So yeah, they should be paid more than how much they're asking for probably.
Still to come in the news, WASA employee among 9 detained for Tobago WASA Wells vandalism. Government's now looking at increasing fines for such acts.
And coming up later on in sport, highlights from the 2026 Nevis to St. Kitts cross-channel swim.
Jason has watched every World Cup from here, but not today. Because he made all his purchases with Visa and won a trip to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Whoever uses Visa most wins. Pay with Visa.
Can you do this?
While nurses continue day 4 of their demonstration, the TNT Unified Teachers Association staged a peaceful protest at the Education Ministry this morning.
The association says some business operations assistants who were employed at various schools have been sent home after 20 years of service and have not been paid their remuneration. Tutors President Crystal Ash says this is not right.
Nobody thinks that I'm working for 20 years, I'm going to be sent home instantaneously like that. And this is what would have happened to these people. They would have received favorable, many of them favorable, what they call appraisals done by their principals. And then to be told, well, listen, you can't. I met one out here this morning because she came. They have a gratuity period, a gratuity package there to receive. Since 2019, she's telling me that she has not received. So you done not, you fired them basically because you didn't rehire them. And on top of that, the gratuity payment, the lump sum of money that they're supposed to mind their family with, you're not giving them that as well?
The Education Ministry says it is seeking the necessary approvals from Cabinet before proceeding with the renewal of those contracts. But Ash says there are other pressing issues, including leave classification and back pay for teaching staff that have already been agreed to.
Provide our membership with their back pay in a timely manner because we know the cost of living is going up, everything is going up, nothing is going down. But at the end of the day, if they have they receive their back pay, they will be in a more comfortable position to meet their financial commitments. And this is what we hope.
Tutor was joined by members of the Communication Workers Union. Both unions say they will continue to stand with the employees until they are fairly treated.
Well, it's not the news teachers will want to hear tonight, but there's still no concrete date for the payment of their back pay. Instead, the Chief Personnel Officer is calling for patience. A statement by the Finance Minister on February 27th has led to confusion regarding the outstanding arrears for teachers. Minister Devendranath Tanku told CNC3 News in an interview that both back pay and new salaries will be paid by the first quarter of calendar 2026, which ended today. While the teachers did in fact get their new salaries, the back pay is still outstanding. CNC3 News asked the CPO for an update, and he said he's unaware of any commitment to pay back pay this month, but he knows the process has begun.
I would say to the teachers to be a bit patient. They are aware that it is an exercise that has to be engaged. And hopefully at the end of the exercise, all of the issues concerning the outstanding increments, for instance, is dealt with one time, and then they can pay the arrears. I can't speak for the Ministry of Education, but I know that the process has commenced. I suspect it will take a couple of months.
This is not welcomed news at all for Tutor, which has been asking the Finance Minister for an exact date for payment.
That is very disappointing news for Tutor to hear, coming from the Chief Personnel Officer, because if his boss, which is the Minister of Finance, would have articulated on public television that at the end of the first quarter, and when asked about it again, he seemed to be a bit perturbed by the reporter asking him, as a matter of fact, when he said, I told you that already, and it would have been month of March he was talking about.
Well, Tutor is still awaiting official word from the Finance Minister on this issue.
The National Union of Government and Federated Workers has agreed to a 10% wage increase with the government in a deal expected to cost the state more than $2 billion in arrears. The agreement, which covers the 2014 to 2019 period, will benefit 20,000 workers and will carry a bill of $2.6 billion. 40% of those arrears will be paid in cash, with the first tranche due before the end of 2026. Meanwhile, $1.6 billion of the back pay will be in non-cash options, such as the offsetting of debts. The new salaries will cost the state $252 million more per annum. Meanwhile, Chief Personnel Officer Commander Dr. Daryl Dindial explained how the money will be made available.
This was not budgeted for in the last budget, current budget, and therefore the Honourable Minister of Finance will be looking to find monies for the new salaries in the mid-year review. We do expect the new salaries to come on June or July of this year, and we expect the first tranche of the arrears to be paid in this calendar year.
The CPO explained that retirees will also benefit, but their back pay will be paid fully in cash. Meanwhile, the NUGFW said this milestone was 13 years in the making and all workers under their bargaining unit will benefit. Union President Christopher Street said they are pleased with the terms, especially having come from a starting point of a mere 4% increase.
When the offer of 10% was made, my brother, you see, we are realists, you know, and we know in another period we wouldn't have had any non-cash settlement. Cash is king. Negotiations and wages are about dollars and cents. But we are very responsible and we understand what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago and the economy.
The NUGFW is made up of state-employed laborers, tradesmen, and who the union described as blue-collar workers.
A WASA employee is among 9 people detained in connection with the vandalism of 4 critical wells in Tobago, an attack that severely disrupted the island's water supply.
Public Utilities Minister Barry Pedarath says water production has been restored to normal levels as of this morning. However, he endorsed the Tobago House of Assembly's description of the incident as, quote, domestic terrorism. This was echoed by the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association, which lamented the severe inconvenience to the tourism sector. Vandals targeted electrical cables and TNTEC meters over the weekend, slashing production by more than 100,000 gallons per day. The damage had resulted in a daily loss of 2.1 million gallons of water, leaving 17 communities facing dry taps or reduced pressure.
It really was an act of treason because those persons, I am advised, are a resident in Tobago. And therefore, they too have households, they have mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, etc., who utilize water on a daily basis. You live in communities, and to really take the lifeblood, as the Chief Secretary described it, out of Tobago. I've been speaking to WASA as well about securing their facilities. We are living in a technological age where we need to invest in terms of security apparatus in our WASA facilities.
Pedarath further alleged that private contractors have been accessing WASA facilities in various constituencies, stealing water and reselling it to residents, with several reports submitted to the police in recent days. He signaled imminent legislative changes after raising concerns with the Attorney General that existing fines are outdated and ineffective as a deterrent.
Cannot be that persons are stealing water from WASA and the fine is $275. A number of those things, a suite of legislation will come to enhance what we already have in the WASA Act for persons to cease and desist from this type of activity.
Pedarath says Siparia is among several areas affected by the issue.
He adds that while police reports have been filed, no action has been taken thus far, and he intends to raise the matter directly with the police commissioner.
Meanwhile, the Public Utilities Minister has broken weeks of silence over a recent controversial TSTT executive retreat, disputing reports that it cost the state more than $400,000.
Calling the figure inflated, he acknowledged reprimanding the board over the matter. Pedarath was speaking at the launch of the silting works in El Socorro, where he addressed the issue for the first time after failed attempts to obtain comments for almost 3 weeks. The minister has now disclosed that the retreat cost was closer to $165,000 before taxes. He maintained that he cautioned the board on the need for financial prudence.
There was no consultation with the minister, so I was not aware that they were going on a retreat. However, subsequent to that, when the matter was brought to my attention, I asked to see the invoices. The invoices is in the sum of $165,000, VAT exclusive. The point is that the country is at a financial crossroad. Citizens expect more, and therefore I have told TSTT citizens expect better of you, whether it is $1 spent or whether it is $5 million spent.
Earlier this month, Guardian Media exclusively reported that TSTT was billed $436,000 for the retreat based on invoices obtained. The company had posted an $82.2 million loss.
Meanwhile, former Public Utilities Minister Marvin Gonzalez said Pedarath bears the full responsibility for the actions of his ministry and cannot distance himself from a board he appointed. Gonzalez also accused the minister of having a penchant for lies and called for documented proof to substantiate the lower cost figure.
Meanwhile, the Communication Workers Union is rejecting the minister's revised figures, alleging the invoices were altered.
Despite this, Secretary General Joanne Ojir maintains that even a reduced cost of $165,000 remains excessive and is calling for accountability at TSTT over the decision to proceed without ministerial oversight.
Mr. Minister, now that you have found out that it is $165,000, which the union can say, and we will say, without a fear of being contradicted, that the invoice was revised. We know that for a fact. And how are you going to treat with this? Is it going to be someone going on administrative leave, being placed on administrative leave, or is it somebody who's going to get their pink slip?
Ojir also criticized the minister's 3-week delay in responding to the report, describing it as very ironic and convenient.
Caribbean Airlines is tonight denying reports that it plans to close down the company. A Sunday Guardian report revealed that the airline approached the Finance Ministry seeking, amongst other things, a financial bailout. At least 2 directors reportedly believe the airline should be either closed or sold. But CAL says operations continue as normal. In a media release, the airline's board says there's been no discussion about winding up the airline. Instead, it insists the board is actively reviewing operations and working on audited financial statements. Meanwhile, Chief Secretary Farley Augustin says he doesn't share the view that CAL should be closed down. In a WhatsApp message to CNC3 News, Augustin says the THA views CAL as a public transportation service, and as such, the economic benefits far outweigh balancing the finances. He says CAL should be adopting the Copa Airlines model and subsidized into making our 2 major airports a hub between the Caribbean and the rest of the world.
Chairman of the National Gas Company, Gerald Ramdeen, is slamming the previous administration for denying dividends to the shareholders of the Trinidad and Tobago NGL.
And in other business news, the Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Bank has launched 3 new products. Geisha Kalesa Alonso has the details in tonight's Business Watch.
Chairman of the National Gas Company, Gerald Ramdeen, says for the period September 2022 to date, shareholders of the Trinidad and Tobago NGL did not receive dividends. At a news conference at the Hyatt Regency on Tuesday, he slammed the PNM administration, in particular former Energy Minister Stuart Young.
He doesn't know the difference between a cash and a non-cash transaction. He knows the difference between withdrawing $2.2 billion out of a company and reducing the share capital of a company by $2.2 billion. That is authorized by the Companies Act, by primary legislation in this country. He's a lawyer, they say, a senior counsel.
Ramdeen added that the current board of TTNGL is going to resume the payment of dividends to shareholders and would give them the option of receiving U.S. payment. In other business news, homeowner in TNT has become more accessible as the Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Bank, TTMB, has officially launched 3 new mortgage products designed to meet the evolving financial needs of a diverse public. The new suite includes personalized mortgage pricing, own, make, grow, and a secured home ownership for every generation. At the launch on Tuesday, TTMB's manager for residential mortgage origination, Kristen Ramasa, noted that for years, open market pricing followed a rigid one-size-fits-all model. That era, she says, is over.
For example, we currently offer an open market rate of 6% to all customers who do not qualify under the Affordable Housing Financing 2% and 5% program, which we administer on behalf of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. While simple, that model doesn't fully reflect how differently customers manage their financial commitments. Personalized mortgage pricing responds to that reality by aligning mortgage rates more closely with actual borrower behavior.
Meanwhile, the Own, Make, Grow is a hybrid financial product that combines mortgage financing with investment opportunities. By incorporating mutual funds into the mortgage structure, homeowners could build equity and generational wealth simultaneously. And lastly, a multi-generational program specifically tailored to support female-led households, ensuring women have the tools to build a permanent legacy for their families. And now for a look at today's energy and forex prices. Geisha Kaulesa Alonso, CNC3 Business Watch.
Let's tell you what's still to come in the news tonight. After he never made it home, relatives launched a search for Kareem Hughes in Tobago. They weren't expecting what they eventually found.
From grey skies to sunshine, I'll tell you how high those temperatures will climb and what to look forward to for the rest of the week, right after the break.
Can you do this?
My man, Andre.
Good night, Anthony.
7 years with the company, and we couldn't do it without Antoine.
Happy birthday, dear Alejandro. Happy birthday to you.
Who's Angelo? We're like coworkers who don't forget your name. I'm Angelo. CG United. Good like that.
Is mealtime more of a chore than a cherished time? Does a lack of appetite keep your family, young and old, from getting the nourishment they need? Introducing Apetamin, the gentle, effective appetite stimulant designed for every age. Apetamin helps spark the natural desire to eat, turning hesitant nibbles into satisfying meals. Watch as food becomes exciting again, fueling growth, energy, and shared moments around the table. Give your body the gift of a joyful appetite. Find Apetamin in pharmacies nationwide.
Introducing the new Sun Mix Nut Bar. Available in 3 delicious flavors: granola raisin nut, almond cranberry crunch, and coconut almond crisp. All packed on a rich bed of dark chocolate.
Taste the good life, snack right. Taste the good life anytime. Good life. Sun Mix.
Sunshine Snacks Sun Mix Nut Bar. Taste the good life.
Jason has watched every World Cup from here, but not today. Because he made all his purchases with Visa and won a trip to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Whoever uses Visa most wins. Pay with Visa.
Join us at the Trinidad and Tobago Disaster Risk Management Conference and Expo from June 1st to 3rd. Step into 3 full conference days of presentations, panels, and learning labs that mirror real disaster risk scenarios, including national power outages, disaster risk finance, and sustainable urban planning, waste and debris management. Register now at www.ttdrm.com/register now.
The serenity of McKenna Vale Concordia in Tobago was shattered today after police found the body of a man down a precipice. 32-year-old Kareem Hughes was found partially submerged in a small pool around midday. Relatives say Hughes never made it home last night and they were unable to contact him as he does not have a cell phone. Their fears heightened this morning when his Toyota Aqua was found abandoned on the Lonely Grave Road. His jersey was seen strewn on the side of the hill around 30 meters away. Relatives said the grim discovery was made after a thorough search of the area. Police say there were no marks of violence about the body. CNC3 News spoke to Hughes' aunt, who said her nephew was a very loving and humble person.
Right now, everybody's down. Our heart hurts because Kareem was a loving soul to everybody. And it is not easy right now. Yes, cannot face it right now.
Relatives said Hughes was a father of one and had no enemies. His aunt said they are leaving everything in the hands of the police. Investigations are ongoing.
Despite government's $1 million ex gratia payments to families of the deceased divers, legal action is advancing against Paria Fuel and LMCS. Attorney Sarah Lacan, representing the families of Faisal Kurban and Christopher Henry, has filed negligence claims in the High Court against both companies. The matters are now before Justices Christopher Siuchan and Marcia Ayres Caesar, with both companies expected to file their defenses before hearing dates are set. Lacan says while the state has already issued payments to some families, the legal process for compensation remains ongoing. Those payments were made earlier this year to the lone survivor and 2 families, while others are still working through legal requirements to access the grant. She stressed that the state's payment does not affect any compensation that may be awarded through the courts.
The way how the grant was done by the state, it was an ex gratia payment, which was not done on any conditions that whatever the family received in their high court proceedings, there would be a deduction. So it was really just a payment in good faith by the state to the families based on the circumstances in this particular case.
The Paria diving tragedy occurred in February of 2022 when 5 divers were pulled into a pipeline during maintenance work. 4 of them died while 1 survived.
The lone survivor, Christopher Budram, is also pursuing compensation through the courts.
Family and friends are rallying around the children of Rajkumar Pope following his death last week.
Pope had been out with relatives marking his daughter's completion of the secondary entrance assessment examination when the family's day of celebration ended in tragedy after he was attacked and subsequently died. Relatives say the children, aged 11 and 17, are receiving support, including counseling. His wife, Annie, says for now the children are managing with the presence of loved ones as arrangements are made for their eventual return to school. Pope was fatally injured last Thursday after stopping at a mini-mart in Friendship Village, San Fernando. A 17-year-old suspect remains in police custody as investigators try to determine a motive.
Now time for the weather forecast with K-Marie. K-Marie is quite an overcast day today. I saw a lot of gray clouds and I even experienced some light rain.
Yes, there was. In fact, outside it was almost as cold as inside the office if anybody experienced that. And that's what we want to get into tonight. There were some gray skies across parts of Trinidad today, and that's because throughout the day, a surface to low-level ridge was dominant across the island chain. While some areas felt overcast, other parts were mostly sunny and breezy. The Met Office reported that today's temperatures peaked at 31.4 degrees Celsius in Trinidad and much cooler over in Tobago with some showers, getting down to 28.5 degrees Celsius. Looking at the weather forecast for tonight, the Met Office says it will be cloudy with the brief isolated shower at times. Temperatures are expected to get down to 23 degrees Celsius at Piaco and 24 degrees Celsius at Crown Point. It's looking quite similar tomorrow as it is expected to be fair and partly cloudy with conditions of a few isolated showers. There's also a low chance of that heavy shower. You can expect that mainly in the afternoon periods, and you could also look out for some cloudy skies and possible showers if you are in the western parts of Trinidad. As we look to the seas, the Met Office says seas are expected to remain moderate with waves between 1.5 meters to 2 meters in open waters and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Now, if you heard about that rain and you are contemplating your plans for the week, well, don't worry because there will be some sunshine in the coming days. If we take a look at the rest of the week, we see it is forecast to be generally sunny and breezy, though there is a chance of a few isolated showers. Those are forecast for the more afternoon periods. So I would say probably get your things done in the morning period, and in the afternoon you can probably walk with an umbrella just in case.
All right, thank you so much, K-Marie. Let's tell you what's still to come in the news. Police target Princestown premises known for illegal activities. Dozens of undocumented immigrants detained.
This Easter, celebrate more, spend less. Only at Passat's The Food King. Easter celebration of value is here. Stock up and save big on your everyday favorites. Swiss Chinatown noodles, 454 grams, 2 packs for $19. Blue Sea tuna chunks in oil or water, 3 tins, only $25. Coca-Cola 2 liter, 2 bottles for $20. Fresh Harvest seasoned carrots, 4 tins for $20. Creamery ice cream, 2 gallons for $99. Dutch potatoes, 5 pounds, just $10. Lotus soybean oil, 3 liters for $49.99. Sierra chicken franks, 3 packs for $20. Muttock's peanut butter, 250 grams, 2 for $19.99. Perdix chicken nuggets, 300 grams, $19.99. Country Pride all-purpose flour, 10 kilograms, $59.99. Plus more incredible deals in store this Easter at Passat's The Food King. Offers end April 8th or while stocks last.
Quality value, that's our way. A real Passat's, we're here to stay. The Food King Passat's.
Can you do this?
This is your chance to save big this Easter because Bright Ideas Big Easter Sale is here. Bigger deals, brighter savings. That's the sound of prices getting slashed on all your home essentials store-wide. Unbeatable specials on glassware, cookware, utensils, and much more. Stock up now. Towels, 4 for just $100. Irons from just $85. Highest quality blackout curtains, 2 for just $99. That's a steal of a deal. Clean bed sheets, 2 for only $100. Huge savings on glassware, cookware, bakeware, and tableware. Post in style this Easter. Hurry in. These Easter deals won't last. Don't miss out. Head to the nearest Bright Ideas store today and save big because Bright Ideas annual Big Easter sale is here.
My man, Andre.
Good night, Anthony.
7 years with the company, and we couldn't do it without Antoine.
Happy birthday, dear Alejandro. Happy birthday to you.
Who's Angelo? We're like coworkers who don't forget your name.
I'm Angelo.
CG United. Good like that.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
44 undocumented immigrants were detained in Princestown on Saturday. Police say the exercise targeted at premises located at Margaretwood Village, which was reportedly being used for illegal gambling activities.
As officers entered the premises, many of the immigrants attempted to flee while some attempted to jump from the second floor. Police say one of the escapees was injured and is currently warded under police guard at a hospital. He is also assisting officers with ongoing investigations.
The TTPS is urging members of the public to report suspicious activities.
If you're familiar with LinkedIn language, then listen to this. We are beyond humble and excited to share this latest update with you. In today's world, it's not just about what you say, it's about, well, how you say it as well.
The language on LinkedIn is certainly unique, so if you're looking to fit in, Brent Pinero has the latest on an AI tool that will have you ready to connect.
In the world of social media, every platform has a purpose. There's Instagram when you need to post the perfect photo to make your friends a tad bit jealous. Facebook for keeping in contact with friends, family, and classmates over the years. TikTok for learning dances and general doom scrolling. And then there's LinkedIn for celebrating your wins and for job hunting. But spend any amount of time on the LinkedIn platform and you'll soon realize there's a whole subculture there where people seem to talk a certain way. Now, if you're struggling to fit in on the platform and want to speak LinkedIn, there's now a LinkedIn translator built by California-based Kagi. The AI translator functions just like Google Translate. Put in what you want to say, and the translator, well, translates. So say you're on the market for a new job. You simply type in, "I'm looking for a new job," and out comes a perfect script ready to post, complete with hashtags. And of course, if you're not in the market for a new job, say you're about to be arrested or something, the tool can handle that too. Type in, "I'm going to jail," and watch as the translator spits out a rather motivational post. After all, anyone reading about your unique opportunity to step away from the daily grind, embrace a minimalist lifestyle, and develop a deep understanding of institutional operations has to be rooting for your success, right? Kaki also offers other fun language translations like Elvish, Navi, Emoji Speak, even Gen Z. So the next time your Gen Z coworker says, "Bro, you're cooking," you'll know you're doing great things. If you're cooked, however, well, it was nice working with you. Brent Panero, CNC3 News.
I know you'll be using that app, right?
I'll give it a try.
Quite active on LinkedIn.
I'll give it a try. Let you know how it goes as well. All right, we've heard about breaking the glass ceiling, but Red Force players, Jassy, are now, as I understand it, breaking windows?
Well, that is correct, and the captain, Joshua De Silva, is actually banking on a bit of both continuing, hoping that the power and form of Evan Lewis and company translate to a first title in 20 years. We'll have more after the break. Plus, we'll also tell you about the Reggae Boys laying it all on the line for a second appearance at football's greatest showcase. Stick around, sport is next.
Welcome to Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Do enjoy, Stacey. You want some coffee?
Can I have a
Perfect then.
That's exactly what we need.
Hey, the pool is this way.
Whatever you're here for, we're here for you. Stay smart at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured, so call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. And as the Carifa Games return to Grenada for its 53rd edition this coming weekend, N3H's president Ephraim Surratt has great expectations. In 2025, Team TTO brought home 25 medals, which included 9 gold, 6 silver, and of course some bronze. This year, Surratt believes that this crop of athletes can surpass that total at the Karani Games National Stadium.
President of the National Association of Athletics Administrations of Trinidad and Tobago, Ephraim Surratt, is quietly optimistic that this year's 74 Carifa athletes can better the 2025 Carifa Games tally.
I am seeing a team here that could bring more medals than last year. We have entered all the relays, total in 9, and we should medal in every relay. So that's 9 medals to start with, and then we have some individual performance. We have quite a few outstanding athletes in the individual events. So I think that 25 medals last year, I'm seeing that this team could bring about 30 medals.
The young Team TTO spent their long holiday weekend in a final prep meet on Saturday and in a full team training session on Monday at the Hazley Crawford Stadium under the guidance of coaches and administrators. Surratt says the planning and development work work with the current talent pool began in 2025, and these student athletes have responded well to the learning curve. Surratt says the Games is just one component of the overall development picture.
Each country prepares their own standards for athletes. So this year when we developed standards and we sent out to the clubs, a lot of the clubs in the General Council meeting, they thought the standards were too high. But at the trials, the athletes delivered, and I was very happy for that. So that they actually pushed them to get to that level.
Team TTO leaves Piarco International Airport on Thursday evening, once again carrying the hopes of a nation in their spikes. Jovan Ravello, CNC3 Sport.
Of course, you certainly can look forward to Jovan and our cameraman Ricardo St. Bernard bringing full action from the Carifa Games. Craig Munden was the only swimmer to dip beneath 1 hour on his way to winning the 25th annual Nevis to St. Kitts cross-channel swim. Munden led a group of over 500 swimmers daring to take on the 4-kilometer swim. For as far as the eyes could see, these sea lovers and general water babies invaded Wally Beach in Nevis for the 25th edition of the Nevis to St. Kitts cross-channel swim. Among them, the first black female swimmer to represent Great Britain in Olympic competition, Alice Daring, as well as 3 Trinis, giving weight to the belief that we are everywhere.
3, 2, 1.
Overall, 504 entrants began the attempt at around 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, some in more of a hurry than some, others quite content to go at their own leisurely pace. But out on the channel between Nevis and St. Kitts, where the Atlantic Ocean meets the Caribbean Sea, a clear leader soon emerged.
So we're just about 45 minutes into the Nevis to St. Kitts cross-channel swim. In the background, you can see the leader. It's a lone swimmer. The rest of the pack is quite some distance off, but I can tell you it is taking some endurance, some effort, and certainly some gumption to make this attempt.
Swimming at an average pace of 1 minute and 22 seconds per 100 meters while battling a strong undercurrent on choppy waters, 28-year-old Craig Munden devoured the 4.1 kilometer distance, arriving on Cockleshell Beach, St. Kitts, in 56 minutes, 13 seconds.
How was the swim this morning?
Oh, it was absolutely beautiful. There was a little bit of a current going across, but it's crystal clear water. There are turtles everywhere. Yeah, it's just an amazing place to swim.
Is this your first time here?
My first time here. It's my first time doing a cross-channel swim, and yeah, I'll definitely be back to come and do it again because yeah, that was so much fun.
In a not-so-close second was Michelle Heinen of the Netherlands in a final time of 1 hour 13 seconds. Theo Estas of St. Bart's was third in 1 hour 1 minute. The women's race was won by 15-year-old American Marissa Thomas in 1 hour 3 minutes 29 seconds. Her countrywoman, 32-year-old Heather Izetz, placed second in 1 hour 6 minutes, while third to pop up on Cockleshell Beach was another American teenager, 17-year-old Ella Knox.
I was trying to get under an hour and 10 minutes, and I just wanted to be like pretty high up in my age group, but I guess I did better than that.
A unique race offering a challenge for swimmers at all levels and of varying abilities, from as young as 12 to as old as 80, each just happy to scratch one item off the bucket list.
A swim certainly not for the faint of heart, but definitely for those that dare, as epitomized by the oldest and the youngest to complete the cross-channel swim from Nevis to St. Kitts 2026. And that puts a lid on our coverage here.
Certainly have more coverage from that race coming up throughout the remainder of the week. For 25 years, the Republic Bank Junior Golf Open has served as the breeding ground for young players coming through. The 2026 edition was launched on Tuesday at the Millennium Lakes Golf Club in Trin-City, where organizers, the Trinidad and Tobago Golf Association, and principal sponsors Republic Bank reaffirmed the commitment to the sport's development.
We have participation of approximately 100 golfers. That's a huge amount. The participation and the interest in the game is peaking. We have a section for drive, chip and putt, and that's for people who are not experienced in the game, who want to come out and try their hand at trying the game. There's a drive, chip and putt that we have on one of the days in the tournament. So it's inclusivity rather than exclusivity.
Gulf Association President Robin Lewis said that his organization's objective is to produce more junior golfers capable of playing within the senior ranks. Meanwhile, several of this year's participants expressed eagerness for the tournament to be played from April 7th to 9th.
Last year was definitely a victory as I won my category. So this year, my goal is to just regain the title.
I'm looking forward to the tournament, yes. The preparation has been great. I've seen things that I have to work on, and I've seen my strengths as well. There's a lot of high expectations of me, just from my parents and stuff, and there's a lot of high competition against in my age group.
And we wish them the very best. Cricket now. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force captain Joshua Da Silva is expecting an improved performance from his team in the upcoming Cricket West Indies first-class tournament, which begins next week, Sunday. The team is currently encamped at the Queen's Park Oval before they break for Easter.
It has been 2 decades since Trinidad and Tobago last lifted the regional first-class cricket title, and the Red Force captain Joshua Da Silva is hoping this incarnation of the team can break the duck.
Just taking that momentum from last year, we fell short. We came third. Unfortunately, we drew with Guyana in the last game, but one game last year cost us the old title against Jamaica down in Brian Lara, so just not have those mistakes creeping again. We had lost 2 key players as well in that game, in Jaden and Andy, going to county cricket. So yeah, we have a full-strength team for all of the tournament this year, so I'm expecting good things from this team.
The team's batting lineup is formidable, as it includes last year's tournament leading scorer Jason Mohammed and Evan Lewis, who is back with the team after a 9-year absence.
Jason and Evan bring a wealth of experience. They've been around Trinidad cricket for years. Jason is on 20 years, representing a stalwart of Trinidad and Tobago cricket, so and he's been performing, so there's nothing less that we could expect. We know what he brings, we know what the vibe that he brings. He's a very happy man in the dressing room. Everybody's laughing, everybody's doing everything they can. Evan now coming back in after, I think it's 10 years of not playing first-class cricket, but the attitude I've seen from him and what he's bringing to the table, it's very positive.
Lewis has been making a statement ahead of his comeback, amplifying it during our interview.
With us on Power Gen, but the quality that we have, the caliber of players, we had Sunil Narayan.
Red Force teammates and fans will certainly have no issues with Lewis and others breaking a few windows in Antigua when the tournament commences on April 12th. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
Yeah, sticking with cricket, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force under-15 teams match against the Jamaica Scorpions was abandoned today without a ball being bowled. The teams were supposed to square off in the second match of the Rising Stars under-15 championship, but rain kept them indoors. Both teams will play in the third match of that series on Thursday. Well, in our Sport High tonight, some World Cup qualifying heroics.
Pavel Schultz may not yet be on your radar, but with a finish like this, he's put himself on the watch list. Enough time and space to bash in the opener for the Czechs on their way to the 2026 World Cup. Yes. So for your heroic laser against the Danes, Pavel, you earn tonight's CNC3 Sport High.
All right, Jesse, we're looking forward to hearing about Jamaica. What's the latest?
Yeah, they had their final attempt to make it to a second World Cup in their history, playing against the Democratic Republic of Congo this evening. Unfortunately, the Reggae Boys, they lost that game 1-0. That game came in added on time, in extra time rather, and it means that DR Congo will go to the World Cup for the first time. Jamaica, the Reggae Boys, just like us, will watch from home.
Oh dear, thank you so much for that, Jess. And by the way, nice coverage from the Nevis Swim.
Thank you. So much more to come, so stay tuned.
Thank you. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
Get a free pair of polarized sunglasses with the purchase of new Gen S Transitions lenses with anti-reflective coating and frames. Selected designer frames now just $4.99 with additional promotions. Hurry! Limited time only at Seaview Optical.
Police in Haiti are attempting to reach a remote region following a devastating gang attack. According to reports, a Grand Grief gang ambushed the rural village of Jardinese over the weekend, setting homes on fire and shooting residents as they fled. While officials have confirmed 16 deaths, human rights groups warn the toll could be as high as 70. An estimated 6,000 people have been forced to flee the area, which remains under gang control. The attack comes as a new, larger UN-backed suppression force prepares to deploy next month to bolster Haiti's police force.
And Barbados has announced the launch of its Child Wealth Fund that will give every newborn a $5,000 Barbadian investment at birth. The investment plans were unveiled in the country's 2026 to 27 budget. Prime Minister Mia Mottley describes the plans as a long-term empowerment tool to ensure all Barbadian children start life with some sort of financial asset which can support them in later life. Eligibility is backdated to November 30th, 2021, the day the nation became a republic. The funds will be held in trust and invested in bonds and equities to help graduates pay for housing or education. The 2026 budget also introduces monthly cash grants for multiple births, providing up to $600 a month to families with triplets until the children turn 5. Well, King Charles and Queen Camilla are planning to visit the United States in April.
The trip has been rumored for some time, but was confirmed by Buckingham Palace today. President Donald Trump extended the invitation to help commemorate the 250th anniversary of American independence. There have been some calls in the United Kingdom for the royals not to make the trip due to the war in Iran. Trump has criticized the British government for not helping in the conflict. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's position is he does not want to get involved.
From here, we take another quick break. Stay with us right here on CNC3.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Welcome to Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Do enjoy, Stacey. You want some coffee?
Can I have a
Perfect then.
That's exactly what we need.
Hey, the pool is this way.
Whatever you're here for, we're here for you. Stay smart at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Welcome back. A multi-agency desilting exercise led by WASA has begun along the El Socorro Main Road in a bid to ease persistent flooding concerns ahead of the rainy season.
Speaking on the initiative, Barataria San Juan MP Saddam Hussein said works will take place on both sides of the roadway, stretching from the highway to the San Juan Quasi, and are expected to last up to 30 days. He acknowledged potential traffic disruptions, but expressed hope that the Easter period will help to lessen the congestion. Hussein added the project was mobilized in record time, with scope and funding quickly secured, contrasting this with previous attempts under the former administration. The initiative was welcomed by residents.
Well, shooters traded competition for compassion at the South Trinidad Rifle Association range on Saturday, hosting a charity run and gun event to help retired Defense Force Major Calvin Sebastian regain his sight. Sebastian lost his vision after a sudden retinal detachment, and they hope to raise about $30,000 for life-changing surgery. 70 competitors took part in the 6-stage match, testing speed, accuracy, and real-life scenarios. Founder Muhammad Ali says their goal is to save Sebastian's sight.
So Mr. Calvin Sebastian, he would have woke up one morning and the retina of his eyes would have been detached, and he would have suffered blindness. He was in the US at the time when this occurred. So presently he's back in Trinidad. Our aim here today is to aid Mr. Sebastian with some financial support so that he would be able to do the required surgeries to get his vision back.
Members of the shooting fraternity and defense force turned out in support of their colleague. It's time now to recap our headlines. Gunmen opened fire on a father as he cradled his baby in bed. Both of them were killed.
With nurses' protest going into day 4, CPO clarifies that nurses' $75 overtime rate was never ratified.
In sport, TNT's athletics boss touts the class of 2026 to outdo the last bunch of 25 medals.
And in the weather, fair to partly cloudy conditions are expected tomorrow.
Before we leave you, let's end with our photo of the week. Our Guardian photographer, Abraham Diaz, captured a sunrise that truly stops you in your tracks. A striking blanket of textured clouds stretches across the sky, glowing in rich amber and gold as the early morning sun rises to meet it. An unusual formation made even more breathtaking by the light. It was taken last Thursday when motorists were making their way along the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway in Port of Spain, headlights cutting through the dawn. It's the kind of morning that makes the journey feel just a little bit more worthwhile, perhaps even getting up, Ria.
Absolutely.
A little bit more
I would love to wake up to those kinds of sunrises all the time.
Yes.
Well, that's how we end the 7 p.m. news here on CNC3. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ria Rambley.
Brian Beachu.
I am Jassy Marie.
And I'm Kay Marie Fletcher. Have a good night.